Hi, Tim.
Hi, Mia. How are you?
I'm well, and yourself?
Very well, thank you.
That's good. I was just apologizing to everybody for missing the last meeting. I don't normally work on Saturday, so I didn't check my diary and I made other plans. So I really apologize for that. And I was just about to get started with talking about the structure that we normally recommend for property investing. So I'm just going to share my screen. It should come up any moment now. Can you see it? Or is it not sharing yet?
Yes, we can see it.
We can see.
Fantastic. All right. So when investing in property, there's normally 3 vehicles that you can use. So you can either invest as an individual in your private capacity or as a group in your private capacities. You can invest in a normal PTY limited, so an empty property company of which you'll all be directors, or you can invest in a trust of which you'll all be trustees and beneficiaries. So the problem with investing in your own capacity is that the rental income will be added to your salaries for income tax purposes, and it can actually drag you into a higher tax bracket, especially when you've built a big portfolio. You can actually end up in the 45% tax bracket, which I think some of you already are in. So that's not ideal. The other thing with buying in your own name is your properties are open to creditors, and they'll also form part of your estate when you pass away, meaning there will be executors' fees, estate duty, and capital gains tax payable on your properties. It's not cheap to pass away in South Africa, unfortunately, so this is not a good idea. The only benefit to it is that you're more likely to get 100% bond in your personal capacities because the banks are giving 80 to 90% bonds in company and trust structures. The second vehicle is the property company, which we advise our investors to buy in. And that the reason for that is the low tax rate. It's 28%, going down to 27% in the next tax year. And so you've got a nice medium tax rate there, and your properties are also kept separate from your own income for income tax purposes. The third vehicle is a property trust, which a lot of people did in the past, but SARS has come and plugged up a lot of the loopholes for tax there. So you will essentially be taxed 45% on your rental income. So it's not an ideal vehicle to use. So we actually recommend a hybrid structure because we want the tax rate of the company, but we also want the protection that a trust affords. So what we do is we set up a company of which you'll all be directors, and then you purchase the property into the company for the lower tax rate. But then if the company shares are in your own names, your property will still form part of your estates and will still be open to creditors. So what we do is we put the shares of that company into a trust or trusts in your case. And you can see that trust as a vault. What it essentially does, there's no income flowing in or out of it. It's just purely for the protection aspect. So it holds your company with the properties and it keeps it out of your estates. So the remaining directors can just go on with that structure, and the beneficiaries of that specific person who has passed away can step into the shoes of the director who has passed away. What we do in a case such as yours, where you multiple investors, we normally don't recommend one trust. Reason being is you're all going to have your own kids and spouses, or your own idea of who you want your beneficiaries to be. So we'll do separate trusts, and each trust will have a share in the company. So it's one company with multiple trusts. How many people are you? 6. Let me just check. You 5 without me. So that will be 20% shareholding each of you. So 5 trusts with 20% shareholding each in the company. And the reason for that is also you can use your own trusts for other assets. So Patrick, as an example, if you hold 20% of your property company that you share with the rest of the business partners here, you can put your paid up primary residence in your trust as well, because it's your own trust. You can put jewelry in there, paid up cars, any other assets that you want to put in your trust, you can use that trust for. So we recommend 5 separate trusts then, with one property company, and the banks will look at all of you as the directors of that company for affordability purposes. Okay. Any questions so far?
So far, so good.
Okay, fantastic. So that's the whole story pretty much on the company and trust structure. I'll get our trust attorney just to send you all the details so you can go through it in your own time. Patrick, if you can maybe send me the email addresses for everybody here, then I can get Yolandi out. No, actually, it's Monique that dealt with you the last time to send you all the details. Okay. All right. Then just an explanation on what we actually do. We like a one-stop shop for property investing. So we assist clients like yourselves, and we all invest ourselves as well. I've got my own portfolio through iGrow. We assist clients to build property investment portfolios. So we do everything from finding the property by teaming up with developers all over South Africa and recommending those properties to our investors, to the bond origination, and also placing and managing the tenants. So you guys can, as an example, be based in Gauteng and still purchase property in Cape Town because you will have nothing to do with the everyday sort of management of your portfolio or of the properties. We will make sure the rent comes in and that maintenance issues are quoted on and that all of those things are taken care of. Then the other role that we fulfill, like I said, is we will also set up the company and trusts for you. We'll do the accounting on the company and trusts. And in other words, the financial statements and the tax returns. And what else do we do? And then we'll act as the independent trustee on the trust as well if you need us to. We can fulfill that role. Okay. Then the next thing I'd like to talk to you about, and this is something I feel everybody should sort of strive for, is 5 properties at least, and then building on that. The reason for that is there's a part of the Income Tax Act called Section 13(6). Weird name, I know, but that's the name of it. Essentially what it is, it's a tax deduction. So there's a housing shortage in South Africa. So government came a few years ago and said, okay, they're going to incentivize investors to buy brand new properties straight from the developer and placing tenants in those properties. So they will actually give you guys 55% of the purchase price of your properties, of the portfolio, off of your taxable income over 20 years. So it makes a massive difference to the tax that you're going to pay in your portfolio and your return on investment at the end of the day. So as an example, just to make the math easy, let's say all 5 properties cost R1 million each. That's 5 million rand. 55% of that portfolio is about 2.7 million, which we then divide by 20 to get your annual tax deduction, and that's about 140,000. So let's say your rental income in your company is 200,000 after all the other deductions like rental management, rates, levies, and bond interest. So there's 200,000 rand profit left. Then you can further deduct another 140,000 rand before tax of 28% is applied. So you will then, instead of on 200,000 rand, pay tax on 60,000 rand. It also rolls over. So if you don't use it in the first few years, which you won't because your bond interest will still be high, so there won't be profit yet, that 140,000 can roll over until you do start having a profit that needs to be taxed. And then you can start deducting that for tax purposes. Okay. Any questions on that?
You talked about being an independent trustee. How does that work?
So the independent trustee is responsible for the administration of the trust. So she will do things like doing the annual meetings, doing the minutes of the meetings, doing the resolutions when they need to be drafted for purchasing property, and generally making sure that the trust is legal. She doesn't have, or we as iGrow don't have any say in the trust, purely there to make sure that the beneficiaries' interests are taken care of. So we don't actually have any, we don't draw any benefit from the trust, and we don't have any say in the trust. If you want to get rid of us as the independent trustee and appoint somebody else, which you can do, then you can inform us and we will need to step down and quit immediately. In fact, you don't have to use us as the independent trustee. If one of you knows an accountant or an attorney that can do it, as long as it's not a beneficiary on the trust, you can appoint them to do it as well. But you do need an independent trustee on the trust.
And then for the minimum of 5 properties you talked about, is it only for new developments, or can that work also for not so new development, the new properties?
So it only applies to new properties because it's all about creating new living quarters in South Africa. We have tested the law with SARS though, and it doesn't actually say that all of them have to be new. So let's say you've got 4 brand new properties in your company and 1 second-hand property that you bought from an existing owner. Then you will qualify for Section 13(6), but you will only get the benefit on the 4 that's new, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So you'll only get the deduction on those 4's purchase price.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
The other thing I want to know, so when you manage the trustee, at how much are you charging? Maybe
For the independent trustee fee, we charge 370 Rand per month.
Okay.
Okay. Our accounting fees from 1 to 4 properties, in a company, we charge 1,050 Rand per month. 5 or more properties, we charge 1,300 Rand per month. Sounds expensive, but for one of my other big clients recently, I did this exercise and I went and I contacted a few accounting firms and I did a comparison and we actually come in pretty affordable. But again, you get to pick and choose which of our services you want to use. If one of you already has an accountant that's on the ball and that knows about property investing, you're more than welcome to use those accountants. You don't have to use us.
Thank you.
Okay.
If I may ask, yeah, when you put tenants, maybe let's say, like you said, when you buy property from a developer and you put the tenants, whatever, it means now the owner or the one, let's say I buy that one, I don't have to do anything maybe to do maintenance and, look at it after the tenants and whatever, you do everything.
We do all of it. The only role that you will play will be paying for the maintenance costs that are applicable to the owners. So as an example, we've got a program called Red Rabbit. The tenants will log any maintenance issues like a burst geyser or something they broke or some wear and tear issues. We will then get a contractor to quote and we will send the bill to whoever's responsible. So a burst geyser, as an example, will go to the body corporate because your insurance is included in your levies. So that will be covered by them. If it's something the tenant broke, it will come off the tenant's it will be added to the tenant's rent. And if it's wear and tear, something that you're responsible for, we'll send you the bill. But other than that, that's your only role. We make sure that the rent comes in and we make sure that maintenance issues are attended to.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Any other questions at the moment?
No.
Okay, great. So I'm going to share my screen with you again, and I'm going to show you an example of an analysis of 5 properties. This is an analysis that I just used as an example. The page you see at the moment is the summary page, but I want to, and then it's 1 property per tab here at the bottom. I'm just going to go through one with you and then show you the summary. So you have an idea of what it is I'm going to be sending you. I'm not going to necessarily use the same properties because in a moment you're going to tell me what areas you're interested in. But this is, as an example, a property in Sandton called 4 on Ann. Fantastic development close to the Sandton CBD and in the Investec headquarters. So I think it's going to do really well with tenants. The price of the 2-bedroom apartments are 1.7 million or 1.695. I normally like selling cheaper properties so you can get to 5 quicker. I also normally buy cheaper properties under $1 million, but I use this as an example. The projected rental income is 11,500. And then we've got something called rental assist on most of our properties. And what this is a cash reward we give you for using our rental managers and not somebody else. Because again, it's your choice who you use. You don't have to use us. But if you use us, we're going to give you this reward. So this is an additional 3,000 Rand over and above the 11.5 per month in the first year. And the second year, you'll get an additional 2.5 a month. Then in third year, 2,000, fourth year, 1,500 per month. And in the fifth year, you'll actually get an additional 1,000 Rand per month from us on top of your rental income. The projected levies are 1,609 and the projected rates are 1,028. And then this is quite important in my opinion. I always put it in the analysis. Some of the strategists don't, but I think I've burnt my own fingers with a tenant that got retrenched and I didn't have this policy and I could kick myself. What it is, it's a policy you take out on your tenant. And if your tenant stops paying for any reason, good tenant today can become a bad tenant tomorrow. They can get retrenched and they stop paying. This policy will kick in and pay you for up to 5.5 months worth of rent, and it will also help with eviction costs of up to 120,000. Now, luckily, evictions don't happen often, but when they happen, they're quite pricey. So this is, like I said, quite important to have. And it's not expensive. It's 3.5% of your rental income. So on this property, as an example, it's only 403 Rand per month extra. It's also tax deductible. I put a 20% deposit on the property because this is also in a company trust structure. And like I think I mentioned earlier, the banks aren't that keen on giving 100% bonds in companies at the moment. They look at 80 to 90% financing. So we'll chat about cash just now. I used a 30-year bond term at 7.75%, which is prime at the moment. Reason I use 30-year bond term and not 20 is because it's better to have a 30-year bond term, because then your monthly contractual debt when you want to apply for more property is lower. So that's why we normally put in 30 years. But if you guys want to rather do 20 years, I can't see everybody's faces. If any of you are over 50, then I'd say let's do 20 years rather. I used a capital growth of 7%, an assumption of rental escalation of 6%, and inflation of 6%. And then the nice thing about rental management through us, we normally charge 11.5%, including VAT. But if you buy 5 or more properties, or when you get to 5 properties from us, if you're going to do it gradually, we charge 8% plus VAT, which is 9.2%. Then what we do is we deduct the expenses here from the total income on the property per month, and you're left with a surplus on this property of 688 Rand per month. The other 4 properties look the same, it's just in different areas. And then we do a summary of the 5. And what we've got here is the total rental income per month between the 5 properties, and the total expenses, including the bond repayments, the rental management, the levies, the rates, and the tenant insurance. I've also included the accounting fees on the company and the trust, as well as the independent trustee fees. And on these 5 properties, you'll be left with out-of-pocket expenses between all of you of 683 Rand per month in the first year, and you'll start making a surplus income by the 3rd year because of rental escalations. Okay. Then your Section 13 sex deduction, the total portfolio amount here comes to 5.3 million, of which 55% is just over 2.9 million. And then we divide that by 20 to get your annual tax deduction, which then comes to 146,155. Okay. Then the most important thing here, in my opinion, is your, where is this now? Is your equity. Your equity is the difference between your market value of your properties and your outstanding bond. So it's essentially your profit in capital terms. So let's say, as an example, after 5 years, your property has grown by 7% average per year. Then you will have equity of 3.4 million. At any point when there's equity, you could go back to the banks and refinance those properties for that amount, for that equity amount, extract that money tax-free because you're not selling the properties, and then use that money to put it down as deposits or buy more property. And that's how people essentially grow their portfolios, by refinancing their properties after a few years and buying more property. Okay. Any questions?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to do something similar for you, send it to you. We can have another meeting in the next week or 2. I'm just busy next Saturday, but maybe the Saturday after that when we're all available. And then we can go through it. Now, what I want you to tell me is, have you got any cash available between the 5 of you for deposits?
When you say cash, how much are we talking about?
We're talking 10 to 20% per property. So you're looking at about 100 to 200,000 Rand per property.
That's a lot of money.
I know, it's not small change.
Yeah.
Do any of you bank with Standard Bank?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so what we can do is we can push for 100% bonds at Standard Bank in a company, because Standard Bank is starting to sort of relax again a bit after COVID, and I'm starting to see 100% bonds in companies coming through again. So we can try that. If it doesn't work, there's nothing lost. We just refund the security deposits. So we can try that if you guys don't have any capital available.
So Mia, So you recommend that you take more than one property?
If the affordability is there, yes.
Okay. Otherwise, it's possible to start with one property.
Yes, absolutely. I'm super risk averse. I started with one and I add one every year or two. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with starting with one.
Okay. And in that case, the deposit will come down from the 200,000.
Yes, then you're looking at about, on a 800,000 Rand property, you're looking at about 80 to 160,000.
Okay.
Depending on whether the bank gives you 80, 90 or 100% bond.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, let me close here. Are there specific areas where you're all based, by the way? Are you all up in Gauteng?
Yes.
Okay, nice. So would you prefer something up in Gauteng, or would you like to start out in Cape Town, or what are the feelings here?
Okay, Mia. It all depends on the type of property, where it's located, and if we're getting value for money. So, yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. So what I can then do is I can do an analysis. I can do 3 analyses for you on our top 3 properties. And then you guys can decide based on my recommendations which one you'd prefer. And I'll also send you a link to the rest of our properties. So if you decide my recommendations are nonsense and you see another property, excuse me, that you prefer, then we can do that as well.
Okay, Mia. Presently,
Yes.
do you have like properties to do you know of properties to sell in Gauteng, if I may ask?
Yes, we've got tons of property in Gauteng. We've got in Pretoria. We've got a lot in Joburg East. And what else have we got? We do still have something in Ferndale in Randburg, that there are some units that can maybe become available again. My personal favorite is Kempton Park at the moment, a development called Nambati Residence, super close to the airport and the highways and a Brentwood Mall. So we've got quite a few in Gauteng.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Patrick, you happy?
Yes, Mia. Like I was saying, maybe I don't know if you have the info in terms of properties that you currently have, as iGrow in Gauteng, especially your Benoni side, Kempton Park, thereabout. And tell us how much are they, and if you were to focus on buying one of them, what is going to be the procedure in terms of how much are we supposed to be paying? Suppose we want a property in, let's say, Benoni, for instance. What is going to be the process, and how much will be required from us? Giving us, the price of that property. How much?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the one that we have in Benoni, that is quite nice, unfortunately only ready mid next year, is called Clearwater Village. The one bedrooms there are 695. The 2 bedrooms range between 799 and 899. So you're looking at a deposit there of between 70 and 90,000 if you get 10%, or if you get 90% financing. If you get 80% financing, you're looking at about 140 to about 160,000 Rand. If you get 100% financing, obviously there's no deposit other than the security deposit of 10,000 Rand. Our Kempton Park one starts at 930,000 and goes up to 1.1 million, depending on the floor that you buy. That's going to be ready in June, which I quite like. It's around the corner. So you can start, paying off that bond sooner rather than later. And there you're looking at a deposit of 90 to 180,000. If you don't get 100% bond. But the fact that one of you banks at Standard Bank gives us a bit of a chance to push for 100% bond. In terms of the trusts and company, I'm going to get my colleague Monique, just to send you a quote. We normally give discount. We normally charge 1.5 for the company and 6.5 per trust. But if you're going to take multiple trusts, then she'll give you discount on the trusts. And that's a once-off fee if you guys want to go that route. unless you want to buy in your personal capacities, but then it becomes messy, or not messy, but then it becomes, part of your estate when you pass away, and the property will also be open to creditors, and that rental income will be added to your personal income for income tax purposes. So we do recommend the company trust route. Okay. So the next steps will basically be to chat to Monique and decide about the company trust structure. And then there will be, you need to decide about the property that you want to buy. I'm going to be sending you the various options. And then there'll be a security deposit payable of 10,000 Rand and a reservation document. I'd need IDs and proofs of address. But I'll put all of that on email for you. You don't have to remember any of this.
Great. Okay.
Okay, so those are the next steps. Have you guys got any other questions?
Nothing more from my side.
No, nothing.
Okay, fantastic. So let me get on top of that. I assume you guys are going to want to meet again before proceeding. So to sort of go through everything. So let me get on top of the analyses and things I need to send you. And then you can let me know how you'd like to proceed in terms of the company and trusts, and also in terms of which property.
Yeah.
Great. Sure.
Okay. Okay, guys, if there's nothing else, then you must have an amazing long weekend. Patrick, please send me everybody's email addresses so I can you can WhatsApp me, and then we can take it from there.
Great.
Okay, thank
you very much.
Thanks, guys. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Bye.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, Mia, if I can take your platform and ask Patrick, would you please, and everybody, if it's possible, just to have a 30 minutes Zoom after this, so that it's fresh in our minds, just to deliberate just for 30 minutes.
Okay, what I can do is I can make you the host. Sorry?
Okay, no, that's fine.
No.
You can make Patrick the host, and then you can take your leave while we discuss amongst ourselves. If that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Will that work if I make Patrick the host and I leave? It's not going to end the meeting, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Goodbye. Thanks, Mia.
What do you think, guys?
Wow, it's a mouthful. So I didn't, to tell the truth, I didn't understand everything because of time and all that. But Brapet,
I was recording, so I'll make the link I'll upload and make the link available, so that, because it's important for us to go over again and again. Everything went very fast. It's a lot of information, speaking very fast. So recording becomes very vital at a point like this. So I have it recorded, and then I will upload it and send the link so that everyone in the action team can go back and watch and listen at their own time.
Thanks, Martin.
Good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Brapet, I was just asking, not only from you, but from the members. Already she says 5, ne? She speaks of 5, but I'm just asking, if maybe, let's say, we have a reliable person who wants to join us, is it possible? I'm just asking.
To get people from outside?
Yes, So no, yes, I'm asking, but reliable ones, not just a person. I'm just asking.
No, you see, the intention was for us to get an office, to get it in a way that is legitimate, and that is not going to cost us a lot. But it was motivated by the fact that we don't have an office, so we needed an office. So we wanted a proper way, an excellent way of getting an office, because we could still acquire property and get, of course, they'll get a tenant for us, But
Yes.
maybe if we buy 2
One
bedrooms and the other bedroom is for us, and yeah, we move on like that, like we were doing.
Okay. No, it's
And we
understandable.
make, yes, and we make and we make our province, to be our tenant. Do you get what I'm trying to say, Sister? Because I
Yeah.
think largely on a large scale, we are the major contributors, in the province. So I
That's
don't
true.
think there's anything wrong with that, since we don't even have, a place where we can meet. So we buy this thing from our coffers. We pay monthly. Yeah, and probably per month from us will be popping, something less than 1,000 rand. From us, for the remaining years. Which at least we know when you go to a meeting, we don't go and argue with people in Nando's and elsewhere. We'll be having our own
Mm.
place. Yeah, that's
I
where
hear
I'm
you.
coming from. Yeah.
So what about the property in have you seen these properties that she's speaking about? You haven't, ne?
No, I've not seen them. I posted some because they send me these emails how they're going to look and all that, because they buy them from a developmental at a developmental stage. So they're very cheap. Once these things, are built and they're up and running, they go way more than 1 million.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay.
So they
Yeah.
partner with developers. So they buy at a low cost, and then once they are done, we move in. Yeah, like you were saying, the other one is coming. It will be finished in June. So now we buy because they're still developing. In June they'll be finishing, and once they are finished now, they'll be very, very expensive.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. I hear you. Hmm. So
yeah.
this
So
one
that
of
was that was my
600
intention.
rand.
Unless if you want to expand ourselves and say, okay, if we form a PTY, then let all of us, maybe one of us, maybe each of us should get a property and we grow. We must think out of the box. We've been together for more than 20 years. I think we should also empower ourselves, economically. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Mm.
Yes.
No, that's good. Now this one of 600. No, you are right. We really need to empower ourselves. So, but this one of 600, where did she say it is, in Benoni or Kempton Park?
No. She said in Binon. Binon is the cheapest. Captain Park, because
Mm.
it's next to the airport and all those amenities, is a bit
Mm.
expensive. Yeah. So Captain Park,
So,
Binon is the one. Clearview is the one that is, I think it starts from 6 something, but that is 1 bedroom. 2 bedrooms, they start from, I think, 799 or something. I can't remember when. But yeah,
okay.
yes.
What are others saying?
For me, I think for rental property, location is important.
Mm.
And Kempton Park, apart from being central, is an ideal location, especially when you consider all the interesting developments happening around Kempton Park, around the airport, Aero, is it? Aeropolis, or how did they call it? Yeah, so there's a lot happening around Kempton Park, and it will be a good place, a good area to invest for good returns. Might be slightly expensive, but I don't think you will lack tenants in a place like that because of how busy Kempton Park is and how central it is and how close it is to the airport and all the activities happening around that. I think they call it Aerotropolis, yeah, or something like that. Yeah. So that's my take.
Because
And
Good money.
I don't think it's not like, we heard what they were saying. We can still, venture out and you get what other companies are saying and other companies have to offer. Like this other one that I spoke to the one of the consultants the other day. So I thought maybe even them will have to come and listen to them And yeah, let's weigh our options and see which one we want to opt for.
Oh, okay. I'm just hearing about that other one. I think it's a good idea to have a second opinion, listen to another pitch as well, so then we can compare and decide from there.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yes.
Oh, okay. No, that's a good idea. That's true. Well, I think we are heading somewhere. This at least lifts up our spirits,
Yes.
and there's joy, there's hope, at the end of the tunnel.
Mm. Yeah.
Because I remember we've been talking about this. I remember there was a time when we were still with the Nyasulus and we were talking about this thing, but we never acted on it. We could have been far by now. Maybe we could have been. Maybe we could be owning our own. Yeah, because we've been together for more than almost 20 years now, or more than
No,
20.
I think this is the right time, Patrick. Let's embark on it. It is the right time.
Right.
I know we could have been far, but the Lord has helped us and have sustained us. And now I believe He wants us now to really enjoy serving Him faithfully all these years.
Yeah, and one other thing, I think let's keep it under wraps, because it might not come across as the way we think about it, because we have not acted, we have not done anything.
Please.
So yeah, if we announce it, it might come to some ears that are very inquisitive, and we might be discouraged at some point.
Yeah, that's true. The three of you right now, Leah, is Leah then? I heard somebody say hi. Is that Leah?
No, she went with the younger brother. They are going to purchase some things in the yard.
It was
okay.
Matilda. It was Matilda. Yeah. Good morning, and how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah, no, I couldn't join the 10 o'clock meeting. I'm having flu, but I'm better. Today is the third day. So what I want to say is that it's very empowering what we've had today, because also from my side, I wanted to learn more about this, because most of my family members are in these things of properties. Then I was saying, I'm solely looking just for government, not knowing what else is going on outside. Even my first son bought a property. So I said, let me understand what is happening here. But I agree with Mr. Patrick that let's compare three companies so that we end up with the best one that will have more advantages. Because with this one, iGrow, yes, the lady knows her story very well. And then I was even writing some things on the important things that she has mentioned. And also that in Sandton, there's a property called Forum N. I don't know the correct spelling, but which says that maybe something is ongoing. And you can see that she is really working more and more on developing more other properties. And we know that HCF is there to stay. So maybe nothing is impossible to say. Let's take a step, putting our faith unto God, so that we have something that is sustainable. Thank you.
Yeah, you said a mouthful. So, Brapet, I do agree with you. Let's keep this thing in wraps. So me and Sis Tilly in ACF, we don't have more than one portfolio. You people are the ones who have more than one portfolio. So please keep it in wraps. Thank you.
Okay.
And then I just want to find something, because I was in other meetings. Exactly when you talk about an office, what structure are we talking about? Like maybe a structure that will have a bathroom, a kitchen, bedroom, dining. I just want to get that one only, because she was giving examples of where it says in Clearwater Benoni, it's 695, whether for 2 bedrooms, and then if it's more, going up to 700 and something. For us exactly, I just want to understand only this thing, structure, so that as we benchmark, we know on what exactly do we want. If I've missed in one of the meetings, just to get that one only.
I think, Sistili, through you, Brapet,
Okay.
the office is, when we speak of our office, of course, we will need the one that has a small kitchen for our lunch, then bathroom, so that we can use that, and a place to hold a meeting. You know, those ones are essentials in getting what is this, a place. Let's say, I'm just making an example for me, that if we get this one that has a kitchen or whatever, of course the tenant, let's say the tenants hire the whole place, then just leave some for us. Like maybe we want one room. That room has to be renovated to accommodate the features that we need. But we leave the tenant with all that, he or she rented for.
Okay. So it won't be such an office an area where there will be somebody who will be staying there, maintaining it. And then when we have a meeting, and then sort of like part of preparation and so on, or it will be office that will be will be unlocked when we come in for the meeting at that time only.
I think
or
that
there
one
somebody will be staying. Okay.
Okay, Sistili, what we were saying last time, it will be the same. You see, like when we're in Ekeres, you will have, maybe it's a 2-bedroom, and probably will be an open plan, your sitting room and dining plus kitchen, two bathrooms, which is your toilet plus maybe shower or like bath. That's what I've seen. That's what I've seen in the. By the way, it's an estate. It's an estate. These guys, they're building estates.
Okay.
So it's within a safe environment. People will have what do you call now, access codes before they come in.
Right. Yeah.
So our intention was, like we did with the Simakwesis, get a tenant. By the way, that thing is ours. So we will set the rules. We get a tenant to say, hey, you're going to stay here, but know that once in a month we'll be coming in for our meetings. So we will want to use facilities, maybe the dining, the dining side and the kitchen and the bathroom. Maybe if it's two bathrooms. If it's two bathrooms, then we'll have our own. So we'll discuss. Maybe yes, they'll be doing the dealing, the billing, how much the tenant must pay, but we can negotiate that arrangement that will be coming monthly to hold our meetings. I don't think it will be a problem.
No, it's clear. When you say acre structure, I understand. It's very clear. Thank you.
Yes, the method that we've been using. Yes.
I don't know how an outsider will feel for us coming to hold a meeting, because even when an insider had a problem, eventually, I don't know how it will be for an outsider for us to be coming once a month to have a meeting. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just wondering.
Yeah, it sounds unless if we are able to pay it ourselves, then we can do it. And we can do that if we are able to pay it ourselves. But it's something to explore. Maybe next time we can raise it with Mia. If that arrangement, if it does happen, and maybe they have ground rules on how it should be done. Especially with outsiders. With ours, it was understandable because we had people who were like-minded like us, the Simakwesis, so it was easy. So if it's someone from outside, as you say, it might be a bit challenging, but it might be. So maybe we can read next time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's about it. Maybe we'll entertain it, and even prayerfully, let's think about this. Yeah.
and Brapet, bring this one if you can. Make arrangements and maybe appointments, because this is still fresh in our minds, so that we get going with this thing, because we need a place to meet.
Oh, we definitely do. I mean, look, we go to Nando's, we spend almost 1.5, almost 2,000 rands when we meet there. I'm like, no, but this money can be used, wisely. I mean, if we go there, Nando's, we spend 2,000 rand, for 4 hours, 5 hours, 4 hours maybe. I think we can actually get value for that money. We can really leverage it. Yeah. That's my thinking. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah, that's it. I think we are done. We will still talk about this. Let's get another company and let's hear what they say.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Bye.
Any other thing? I don't know if there's any other question or any other comment before we leave.
Nothing on my side.
Okay. Any prayer item that we should pray for? We can